Hi, I'm Kyle. I like driving and I have opinions on roads. Today I'm going to talk about one road in particular. In January 2017, the city of Tucson finished a project to extend Sabino Canyon south of Tanque Verde over Pantano Wash to Kolb. The new road makes travel a lot simpler. Previously, motorists who wanted to drive from Sabino Canyon to Speedway would have to detour on Tanque Verde to either Kolb or Pantano. The connection improved travel both through and around the area. Besides making the transit from Sabino Canyon to Speedway quicker, the reduction in detour traffic eased congestion at the detour intersections. In particular, because northbound traffic no longer has to rejoin Sabino Canyon at Tanque Verde, the eastbound left onto Sabino Canyon is no longer a fiendish nightmare during rush hour. Non-vehicular travel was also improved. The connection joins the bike and footpath along Pantano Wash to Udall Park. Additionally, an improved bus stop and turnaround were added to Sabino Canyon just south of Tanque Verde. Overall, the connection helps both vehicular and non-vehicular traffic in the area. I use the new road frequently, and I'm a big fan of it. Except for one detail. The southbound turn lanes at Kolb. A vehicle traveling on Sabino Canyon to Speedway will have to make a left-hand turn at Kolb. As the intersection is laid out, there are 2 lanes for left-hand turns and 1 for right. As you approach the intersection on southbound Sabino Canyon, the right-hand lane becomes the right turn lane. The left lane splits into 2 left turn lanes. In my opinion, this was a bad design choice, and here's why. Most traffic on southbound Sabino Canyon turns left at Kolb, hence the 2 left turn lanes. However, in order to turn left, a vehicle must first merge into the left-hand lane before reaching the intersection. This leads to vehicles crowding into the left-hand lane on the road leading up to the intersection. It also leads to late lane changes at the intersection, which increase chances for accidents. The design is also a surprise if you don't know the road. 500 yards from the intersection, you're traveling south with no indication that that's about to change. If you miss this small sign, you won't know you need to get over until you see these arrows. At which point, you are 200 yards from the intersection and now having to battle into the left lanes. This surprise requirement is inconvenient at best and could result in dangerous driving or an accident at worst. Yeah, it's got problems. I hear ya. But I'd like to see you do better. Okay, here's how I think the intersection should have been designed. Both lanes should have become left-hand turn lanes, while the right turn lane should have branched off of the right lane. With both lanes turning left, the need to pile into the left lane before the intersection is removed. It also makes for a more intuitive driving experience. If you're driving in the right lane heading south, you don't suddenly need to change into the left lane in order to keep going south. Connect the 2 lanes to the 2 left lanes instead of the 2 right lanes. Seems like a simple solution. So why wasn't it done this way? Well, I kept asking myself this question so much that I finally got on Google to figure it out. At first I thought perhaps the designers didn't know what the flow of traffic would be through the intersection. Fortunately for me, as a public project, its design reports are a matter of public record and accessible on the City of Tucson's website. Here I found a trove of documents that let me get into the minds of the designers. And the first thing I discovered was they did, in fact, know what the traffic flow would be. In fact, they measured traffic at the intersections affected by the change and created simulations with the new intersection. Not only did they have an idea of the current traffic flow, they also modeled traffic growth in the next 20 years. That's why they put 2 left turn lanes and only 1 right turn lane. Clearly, they knew which way would have heavier traffic. So maybe they didn't realize that the design would create the issues described earlier. I know from personal experience that sometimes in designing a big project, little details can slip through. And there were a lot of details that the designers had to consider. Not only did the designers scrutinize traffic flow through the 9 neighboring intersections, they also designed for drainage, pedestrian travel, bus stops, sound walls, and even had 3 rounds of meetings to decide where to put the entrance to the neighborhood alongside the road, with as many as approximately 11 people attending. looking down on it, there's nothing obviously faulty with the intersection. So maybe they just overlooked it. I thought that might have been the case and was patting myself on the back for being so smart when I found something. On page 55 of the primary design report, the right lane of the intersection is labeled as a trap lane. This is a new term to me, but I found a definition on Urban Dictionary of all places. Basically, a trap lane takes a motorist in an unintended direction if they don't react quickly to get out of it. They knew it. They f***ing knew this was a flawed design. I searched the rest of the document for references to trap lane, but found nothing. So they knew it was a bad idea and just went with it. But why? At this point, my curiosity was too much. I had to know. The design report was put together by a company called Psomas. Psomas? Psomas? Anyway, I emailed their help desk and was directed to talk to Kevin Thornton, the project manager for the project. A brief LinkedIn search let me know I had the right guy. That's the roadway in his background. Kevin was very helpful and explained that connecting the road to the left lanes would have required a wider bridge, which would have increased the cost of the project. Specifically, it turns out that creating a lane shift, what's required to connect the two left lanes, requires more road than generating a turn lane, what the actual design is. Ultimately, it just came down to a question of money, which is a little anticlimactic, honestly. So, was it worth it? Well, I estimate from a few internet sources that the additional width would have cost somewhere between $750,000 to $2 million. For a project that was quoted at $12.3 million, even an extra $750,000 is a significant amount. So, I understand why they went with a cheaper option. Ultimately, I would have preferred to see the extra money spent. It would have made for a safer, more intuitive intersection. That said, the $750,000 probably went towards improving some other road around town. And if they did it right, I guess I wouldn't have a topic for a video.